It was months of protests like these that often turned violent, that put free education on the government's agenda. Tato Mokoena took part in protests that began in 2015 and continued last year.
Part of the reason the protest happened, that the people who get into the system are themselves condemned to debt, whether or not they finish. Because if you can't pay through your first year, you can't finish your degree. You can't finish your degree, you can't get your job.
Now the government has set aside $5 billion to fund free education, phasing in free or subsidized education over 5 years. The plan, announced in the budget speech, targets poor and working-class households. Free education is one of the main priorities this year. South Africa has an unemployment rate of more than 26%. There has been a slight improvement in the past year, but what is of most concern to many here is that more than a third of people under the age of 35 don't have jobs. The budget speech didn't, however, say much about job creation. Instead, focusing on increasing government revenue by hiking value-added tax and cutting spending by $8 billion over 3 years.
Government has made significant changes to the fiscal framework. Firstly, new tax measures raised an additional 36 billion rand in 2018-19, mainly through a higher VAT rate and below inflation adjustments to personal income tax brackets.
The government is facing a balancing act in trying to raise money, cut spending, all the while protecting the poor. It's promising to raise social grants, but also increase the fuel levy, making transport more expensive.
Class war here is getting intense. Now, we've seen this country rise to the highest level of inequality for wealth and income in the world. And the World Economic Forum rates our workers the angriest. PricewaterhouseCoopers regularly rates our businesses as the most corrupt. They have the 5th highest profit rate in the world.
As South Africa works to further improve its economy, it is, however, battling some uncertainty within its finance department. There's much speculation that the finance minister may be on his way out after last week's resignation of President Jacob Zuma. Malusi Gigaba, too, has been accused of corruption and outside influence in government decisions. Fahmida, Jazeera, Johannesburg.